Responsible AI is a program that brings together people from different disciplines to ask some of those kind of quite fundamental questions. How might AI techniques generate harm? Who might be advantaged and disadvantaged? How might you address that? Now, in terms of AI policy and AI strategy, what's already constructed and debated are rights of transparency, rights of accessibility, rights of challenge. Those are technically hard to do, but also they're kind of hard to understand in terms of the overall governance and process of these things. So one of the ways that we address this is we actually design toolkits and techniques that help designers build these systems better. So for example, one of the things that we did within Horizon, which have now moved into RAI, has been looking at the kind of ideation cards that help designers understand the legal context, understand the privacy concerns, and think about those as part of those early stages of design. So a big part of what we want to do is build responsibility in from the outset. So that the next 5 years is about that, and it's about building a community that understands that.
RAI UK is about responsible AI. It's about making sure that the development and the deployment of artificial intelligence is done accountably and responsibly. So using RRI cards will mean that people can actually go and check in the development phase when they're planning that the work they're going to do is done responsibly.
So I'm Gopal Ramcharan, I'm the CEO of Responsible AI UK. Today is about diversity in RRI, and we take this very seriously. As you'll see, when we composed this team, we made sure it was diverse in a number of ways, in terms of disciplines, in terms of gender, in terms of backgrounds, in terms of regions.
And today is about listening to what the projects are about. It's about growing the community and learning and sharing our good practices around responsible innovation and EDI, equality, diversity and inclusion.
One of the challenges that people have expressed is sometimes finding that support to, once we identify the relevant activities that we need to put in practice when we embed RRI and EDI into research, we need that sort of extra support that sometimes is like a lack of infrastructure that we need, and I think that we need to bring that together. So this is part of a research study that we engage with different stakeholders and discuss with them what the needs are, where the gaps are. And these cards are intended to help to support your practice throughout, from the start, midway, all along your project.
Responsible research and innovation and equality, diversity and inclusion, these are really important to the Responsible AI UK program, because when you are doing responsible AI, then you need to be multidisciplinary. You need to take the perspectives of different people coming from different backgrounds. And there is a big connection between responsible research and innovation and sustainability. So if we are doing things right, then they will eventually lead to sustainability of our environmental resources, sustainability of our societal values, and sustainability of our existing economic models. So responsible research and innovation and EDI, these are at the heart of the Responsible AI UK program.
I've used these cards to actually develop a project. So thinking through a project around what sort of limitations there might be in the use of large language models.
As a research funder, we've really seen an importance to increase the knowledge of RRI and EDI in all that we do, and these cards are a really great and accessible tool to do that. So really promoting it across our whole portfolio. I love the cards. We have used them multiple times in our team, considering how we can better embed EDI and RRI principles into all that we do, from developing and designing the funds to delivering peer review panels. They're really kind of can be used in a lot of diverse settings.
We took inspiration from the RRI cards, and we've built them into a bespoke kit that we can use in BBC R&D with some of our colleagues. And the idea behind this was to try and build more anticipatory mindsets and more inclusive approaches to innovation at the BBC. And the cards are a really good way for structuring thinking and structuring conversations.
The cards have been really useful for us to think about responsible research and innovation in Swarmy.
The cards make you really consider what's going on in the development phase. So if you're able to use those questions as a way of examining the things that have happened or haven't happened in a project, it can be really useful.
The cards were very, very easy to use, and the physical cards were lovely to hold. And I know that there is an online app as well that you can swipe and it will feel like you're using cards. They're color-coded, it's very memorable. There's always 4 Ps, the same 4 Ps. And the questions on the cards provide really great guidance. We always know what sort of things you're meant to be thinking about, and it's all very clear and well scaffolded.
I work in teams where we use the RRI cards as an aid for us to actually identify a lot of potential, for example, consequences of our projects, potential also impact to the society, how people would use it. So it definitely opened up our perspective in terms of, for example, risks, impact, a lot of factors.
One thing we realized is we hadn't really considered all the stakeholders when we were designing the technology. Often we're thinking about the user. Will the user be able to use our swarm? But really there's more than that. There's the public, there's the people who might be buying your product further down the line. And those are things we just hadn't considered in a holistic way.
The cards are really simple, the questions are laid out well. I'm going to use them as a teaching resource. I think they're really well suited to that because the students can access them really easily, and it's easy to share them around.
I think the RI cards would be useful for everyone who is interested in responsible AI research and impact making. I would recommend that these cards and these considerations and reflections feature in the center and at the start of any kind of responsible AI related discussion, especially where sectors and partners of the diverse backgrounds are involved.
I use these cards as a teaching material for my students, where we all engaged in a brainstorming activity about some sort of a case study. And I can see that these cards help my students think outside the box, if that's the right word, where they actually identified really novel consequences, risks. So as education material and as a researcher, I must say that I recommend this tool for everything.
I recommend these cards because without them, you don't really think properly through the questions you need to be asking about responsible research and innovation. And that's useful when you're writing grants, it's useful for education when you're trying to tell students how to do that, and it's useful for you as a researcher when you're developing your project, all along the way, not just at the beginning, to check that you're doing this in a responsible way.
I think the RRI cards are a great idea because they force you to really stop and consider all of the responsible things that you need to do when you're doing research.